everyone, it's Maki here. Let's have a casual chat today. It's been a few days since the release of Silver Phantom, a VRR game-based video work. It's been announced that the mobile suit of the main character Del design will be released as a high-grade Gunpla. However, the exact release date and price have not yet been announced. Have you all had a chance to check out Silver Phantom? Since I don't own a VRR gaming device, I haven't seen it yet. But from what I've heard from fans, it seems to be getting pretty high praise. I'm debating whether or not to rent a gaming system to check it out. Today, let's have a fun chat about the mobile suits that appear in Silver Phantom. No spoilers for the story though. I'll stick to the content that's being released by the official media. In Japan, the mobile suits of Agent Kill, the mercenary group to which the protagonist and his comrades belong, have become a hot topic among fans. Agent Kill is often hired to handle matters that the Earth's Federation government would rather keep under wraps. To avoid being identified by a specific military force, they use a variety of mobile suits. These include the Zakuto and the Gem. These are mobile suits that were active during the era of the original Gundam. The original Gundam represents the war that took place in Universal Century 0079. Silver Phantom, on the other hand, tells a story that takes place in Universal Century 0096. The Zakuto even appeared in the promotional video. Many fans interpreted it as a mobile suit appearing in flashbacks from the character's past. However, it's now being confirmed that these two types of mobile suits are indeed active in Universal Century 0096. Let's take a look at the description of the Zakuto. Agent Kill version of the Zakuto. Like the gem used by the same organization, it has undergone periodic modernization upgrades. It has reached performance levels comparable to the Neo Xeon Giro Dogu used in Universal Century 0096. What about the gem? Agent Kill version of the gem. As a mobile suit, it is of an older generation. Its major components have been updated to the latest standards. It now boasts performance on par with the Earth's Federation's mass-produced mobile suit of that era, the J-Gun. It's a really exciting element to see older mobile suits on par with the latest ones. However, there are a lot of fans who think this setup is a little too far-fetched. Honestly, I think they're taking on a pretty challenging premise. It's probably because the main goal is to incorporate well-known mobile suits into the story. The designs of these Zakuto and Gem are borrowed from the origin. There is a possibility that they plan to create more VRR-based video content in the future. To make sense of this setup, we need to take a closer look at the fundamental differences in mobile suit design. The Zakuto and Gem are both built using older skeletal structures. The mobile suits from Universal Century 0096 are designed using the movable frame structure. This structure is similar to a human skeleton, with components and armor attached directly to the frame. The Zaku, on the other hand, uses a monocoque frame, which is more like an insect exoskeleton. In this design, the armor acts as a shell or box that houses the various components that are assembled inside. The gem, while incorporating newer technologies derived from the Gundam's design. Also uses a monocoque frame structure. Because of this, the performance gap between these older models and the newer movable frame-based mobile suits is quite large. In addition, the structural differences between the frames make it extremely difficult to swap parts between them. So yes, upgrading the Zaku 2 engine to match the performance of the Universal Century 0096 mobile suits would indeed be a significant challenge. However, the idea of modernizing these classic mobile suits to make them competitive with more advanced models adds an exciting layer to the story. Even though the technical hurdles are immense, it seems that the nostalgia and iconic status of the Zaku 2 engine is what the creators are prioritizing. Did you know? The Galguk from Zeta Gundam offers a similar case to what we are seeing with the Zaku 2 engine in Silver Phantom. The Galguk, originally produced by the Zeon Forces in Universal Century 0079, makes an appearance in Zeta Gundam, which takes place in Universal Century 0087. In this scene, they repair the Galguk to infiltrate an enemy ship, and instead of fully upgrading it, they install internal parts from the Nemo, a much more modern mobile suit. It's more like they swapped the Nemo's outer armor for the Galguks without really modernizing it. So you might be onto something with the idea that the Argent Q versions of the Zaku 2 engine might be in a similar state. Perhaps it's not so much that they've been fully upgraded to match the latest mobile suits, but rather that they've been adapted by incorporating some newer parts, perhaps just enough to keep them operational and effective in battle. In any case, this kind of creative blend of old and new technology could be what drives the story forward. The nostalgia of seeing these classic mobile suits in action again, even if they are not quite up to par with the newer models, is probably a big part of the appeal. I agree with you. It would be fantastic if this Blue Hour content could help build excitement and keep the momentum going. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I hope to see you again in the next show. Take care and see you soon!